Chapter 18, Final Trial. The mood on the front lawn of the Alpha House is tense, and it's only getting worse the longer you discuss your options. Okay, you guys, think. We need a way to win the rest of Greek Road to our side so we can push the Delta Tau Chi charter through. Can you blame them for being pissed at us? We haven't exactly been good neighbors. Alright, guys, think. I think we're all thinking the same solution. Party! A party is what got us into this mess in the first place. But it's all we're good at. It might be all the Omega half is good at, but don't forget that you're 50% Lambda now. What about throwing a block party that includes the whole street? Will that even get them to change their minds about us for good? We need more than just one day of goodwill. We need a whole semester of it. In my Psych 101 class, we learned the trick to winning people over is to find that one thing they want the most and then deliver. And I know what everyone on Greek Row wants. Money! The best way to get some is fundraiser, which is the one thing Lambda has always been killer at. A ripple of excitement moves over the assembled Delta Tau Chi members as Dahlia whips out a notebook and starts to jot down ideas. I know, we'll make it a carnival themed. Between all the games and food, we can raise enough funds to support the entire Greek Row. And we'll ask some of our favorite professors to sponsor that event. That way, they're as invested in the outcome as we are. You could almost kiss Riley for landing on such a neat solution. And that's where we should start. Everyone pick a few professors and head out there. Everyone meets up in the quad with a list of professors in hand. Okay, Omegas, you head towards the Humanities building. Lambdas are diving in the deep end with the Engineering School. It sounds like you're setting up yet another competition, Daniel. Is it a race to see who can sign up the most professors? Of course not. We're all on the same team this time, but don't be surprised when we wipe the floor with you. Riley's eyes flash as he pulls the Omegas in for a quick huddle. You aren't about to lose out, so you grab your girls and make a quick beeline for the engineering school. Professor Bentley, just the woman we've been looking for. Danielle and Luna, have you two finally decided to give engineering a major a try? It's a bit late in the game for us, but how would you like to woo a whole new crop of up-and-coming students? What would you say to showing Greek Row how much fun you're helping engineer a new future for the campus? Doing your favorite students a favor. Helping engineer the future of Greek life rests in your hands. All we need is your support as a foundation. Why, Danielle? Did you just make an engineering pun? Yes, I did. If that's what it takes to win your support, we'll make 100 of them. Your class is almost made me like math. If you could win me over, I'm sure you could win everyone else over too. Professor Bentley gives in a chuckle and shake of her head. Okay, you won me over. Sign me up for whatever you need. You and Luna rush back to the quad where you meet up with Dahlia and a few other of the Lambdas. My logic and philosophy professor and Trina's modern feminism TA are both in. At this rate, we'll have the whole college in on our side. You glance up to see a pack of Omegas roaming the campus. They look almost as pleased with themselves as you do. Oh, I see my Russian lit professor coming this way. We'll just have to pull out a little of the whole Lambda charm and get him on our side. Riley tosses you a saucy look over his shoulder as he and Wyatt approach the professor. Their smiles as bright as sorority door chant. Dr. Petrov, I was telling Riley here all about your Tolstoy thesis. Oh, I didn't know anyone had read it. Are you kidding? War and Peace is one of my favorites. In fact, you should sponsor a booth at our up-and-coming block party. Nothing says War and Peace like a couple of frats finally bearing the hatchet. He's gonna blow it if he keeps laying it on that thick. The guy is literally Russian. No, he won't blow it. Riley knows what he's doing. He put a hand on Dahlia's shoulder to stop her from stalking across the quad to help. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, is that Riley knows exactly how to wrap people around his little finger. Watch. Well, since it's for the unity of Greek life, I don't see how I can refuse. You won't regret this, Dr. Petrov. Riley elopes back to join you, his chest puffed as he hands you the list he's pulled together. That makes 8 yeses from the Omega side. How do you guys do? We got exactly 8 too. That's more than enough to pull this thing off. The final hurdle will be getting your dad on board. Without him, this whole thing is just for show. That's okay. We just go in and go, hey, Dad, you remember how you screwed over a whole entire year, right? You and Riley enter your dad's office side by side. As soon as he spots you, he jumps to his feet. Danielle, is everything okay? We're here as humble students, nothing more. Dad, we're here because we need help with one final project. And you owe us big time. The way I figure it, you do this for us and we'll be even. I thought my co-signing your lease already made us even. No, that just made us up. That was before Greek Rose stepped in and threatened everything. You and Riley launch into a quick outline of the block party and how much you need it to succeed. We've already signed up 16 different faculty members to sponsor the individual booths. But your seal of approval means more than all the rest, sir. Everyone at the school looks up to you. I don't know, you two. I'm not sure I approve of your fixing your party problems with even more parties. It's a fundraiser, not a party, and we'll have you there to keep us in check. As your dad looks to actually consider your proposal, you nudge Riley with your foot. You'll only have one chance to make this thing work. I want to speak up and plead my case. Clasp your hands in front of you and put you on your best suffering daughter face. Please, Dad. It'll just be like the time you took me to a carnival when I was, what, 8 or 9? I still remember it because you paid like $8 to try and win me that stuffed dolphin. The game was rigged from the start. At the memory, he relaxes into a smile. He looks so much like your dad of your childhood that your heart melts. But it was worth it to watch you buckling that dolphin in your lap on the Ferris wheel. Oh, I'd love to see a tiny Danielle get taking her stuffed dolphin on a ride. So, you'll do it? If it means that much to you, Pumpkin, how could I refuse? Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. I can see that Danielle is already starting to rub off on you, Mr. Coin. Maybe this living together thing isn't such a disaster I feared. You can barely keep your jaw from dropping as your dad dismisses you both. I think he might actually be starting to approve of me and Riley. He might even like it. Because he probably is reminded of you, or him and your mom. You and Riley can barely contain your excitement as you step into the elevator on the way to the ground floor. I can't believe that actually worked. I can. You behave like a lambda, and my dad ate it up. A few more weeks, and I'll have you behaving like the good little boy you're becoming. Oh, hell no. You jump as Riley darts a hand out and slams his finger against the elevator button. Instead of going down, it immediately changes course and starts heading up to the roof. No one calls me a good little boy and gets away with it. His voice is a growl as he moves to block the buttons. With his arms crossed over his chest and his stance wide, you can practically feel the power rising off of him. You match his stance and raise your eyebrows, determined to remain in charge of the situation and of him. Is this just to make me tremble in fear? He slides his hand under your chin and tilts your head up, his eyes never leaving yours. No, my sweet, it's supposed to make you tremble in other ways. You shiver with delight as he slowly reaches in his pocket and dangles a key in front of you. I think somebody needs a reminder that I can be a bad through and through, and the faculty rooftop is just the click of a lock away. Your lower lip falls open, your breath already picking up as Riley continues smiling down at you. Breaking the rules is always a risk, but with Riley it's a risk worth taking. Get rebellious on the rooftop. Get that key ready, Coin. We'll see how far this goes. Alright, Coin, challenge accepted. I'm ready to find out how bad you can be. Riley flashes a wicked grin as you step aside and let him lead the way out of the elevator doors to the rooftop. Famous last words, and I'm gonna make you swallow them one by one. Your nerves quake as you exit the elevator and step onto the rooftop patio surrounded by a gated chain-link fence. How do you even know about this place? Would you believe me if I told you that it involves a pretty girl, an inappropriate flirtation, and a failing grade that almost got me kicked out of school? You aren't sure whether to laugh or shake your head as Riley snicks the key in the lock and pulls the gate open. And I'm most interested in the part about the pretty girl, your inappropriate flirtation, yet another failing grade. At this point, I'm surprised you haven't been kicked out at least a dozen times. A soft smile curls his lips. You should know by now that I'm a difficult man to keep down for long. He places a hand on the small of your back and gently nudges you forward. His hand lingers in place, the heat from his palm seeping through your clothes. The story isn't as scandalous as you think. The girl was a TA in my civics class. She used to flirt with me all the time after class. And yet, she still gave me a failing grade on my final paper. Seriously, because you wouldn't go out with her? That, or the fact I forgot how to turn it in. Riley. As he steps triumphantly onto the patio, he takes in the gorgeous sweeping view with his arms wide. Anyway, I stole her rooftop key as payback. If you ask me, I got the better end of the deal. You chuckle and shake your head as you step out next to him. And here I thought you were turning over a new leaf. You slide a hand in the back of your neck and lightly clasp it, and at the first possessive touch, you feel a spike of longing shoot down your spine. I don't mind being a good boy every now and then, but we both know how you prefer me. You hold on his neck tightens by only a fraction, but that extra pressure makes you shiver all over. And that's naughty. Riley. You have no idea what I like. Nice try, but you don't even know everything about me yet. Maybe I like sweet, and maybe I like you at my mercy. His answer comes as a low growl as he slips behind you and begins tracing the shape of your body. You're right, every time I see this body, I lose all sense of anything but how good it feels in my hands. As his hands skim down your shoulders and along your waist, not stopping until he has your hips in his tight hold, you feel a thrill of power, unlike any other. Just when you're starting to grow weak in the knees, Riley nudges you to the edge of the rooftop. From his vantage point, you can see the streams of students moving across the campus. Oh wow, you can see everything from up here. Everything and everyone. Look, there's Trevor playing Ultimate Frisbee. What a shocker. He's not wearing a shirt. Riley cups his mouth with his hands and shouts in that direction. Trevor Marshall waxes his chest every Tuesday at his grandma's house. You double over with laughter as Trevor drops his frisbee and looks around wildly in search of the boys. Who said that? Show yourself. I only wax there because my grandma's bathroom has good lighting. I probably should have mentioned the best thing about this rooftop patio is no one ever looks up here. He nods at a group of students you recognize wandering by, including Claire Johnson, the top-tier pledge you never quite managed to land. Go ahead and try it. She'll never know it was you. Claire Johnson dances like a beheaded chicken. Even a broken metronome has a better rhythm. Claire gasps in outrage as she looks around for the source of the insult. Who said that? It's not my fault. I have a plantar fastidious. That'll teach her to turn her nose up and Lambda knew. You guys were always too good for her anyway. Any pledge who'd pass you guys up obviously can't see a good thing when it's right in front of her. Riley points out a few students from your international diplomacy class. You should do them next. I bet you know all the good stuff from your dad. Bump Riley lightly with your hip. Great power comes great responsibility. I'm not going to abuse it. Typical Daniel, always such a goody-goody. Typical Riley, always being a bad boy. He yanks you towards him, his hands wrapped tight around your waist. You savor the feeling of the length of his body pressed against yours. As he holds you in place against him, he brings his mouth so close to yours that you can feel him speak before you hear it. That's right. I'm as bad as it gets around here. The question is, what are you gonna do about it? Can I shove him off the roof? He sucks your lower lip, his mouth hot, warm, as his hands slide down towards your ass. Hot and warm, a little redundant. I'm gonna punish you the way you deserve. Bad boys have to be taught a lesson, otherwise they only get worse. He groans as you pull a hand on his shoulder and force him down to his knees. I hope this doesn't end with you pushing me over the edge of the roof. Damn! Because if I fall, I'm taking you with me. You slide your hand into his and yank him towards your hips. Don't worry, I'll keep you safe, as long as you kiss me like you mean it. He pecks mischievously up at you, his mouth already grazing close to the V of your thighs. Shame on you, Danielle. What if someone looks up and sees us? You drag him closer, your hips bucking towards him as his mouth presses against your body. And I guess you'd better give them a show. You must lose your balance as he wraps his arms around your waist and pulls you the rest of the way to his mouth. Even through your clothes, you can feel his hunger with the light scrape of his teeth as he finds your sensitive core and bears down on it. And to be safe because of YouTube. Wait, you're stopping? Now? Damn straight I am. I might be bad, but I'm not trying to get us expelled. We're gonna have to finish this somewhere I can do the job properly, where you can scream as loud as you want. After days of hard work and dedication, the block party finally arrives, and it's even better than you have anticipated. Booths line the street like a carnival midway. Every professor has been assigned to a different booth, where they offer games and competitions of every variety. I think every single person on campus must be here today. They are, and even better, they're earning us money. You pause to watch as a group approaches the pie-throwing booth. So I can throw a pie at any of the lambdas or megas standing behind the line? You can and should, and for each one you hit, I'm adding $5 to the pot. You don't have to ask me twice. I'm going in. The Theta member rolls up her sleeves and picks up a frothy, whipped cream-covered pie in each hand while Lambdas and Omegas catcall. You throw like Trevor's grandmother. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. The trick is to throw 2 pies at a time. Omegas are easily distracted. They might be able to dodge 1 pie, but 2 will get them every time. I can hear you, you know. And now you're about to feel me. Theta lines up her shot and sends both pies flying. One hits the ground with a wet splotch, while the other hits right in the center of the Omega's chest. Oh, it's cold! Why is it so cold? This is exactly what I needed to unwind after midterms. Delta Tau Chi should do this every year. Wow, it's Drew. You think this is fun now? Just wait until my band takes the stage in a couple hours. You approach the psychic booth, where Trevor sits in front of a crystal ball wearing nothing but a top hat. You ready to give my supernatural abilities a try, Daniel? I tell you one true fact about yourself, and if I'm wrong, Dr. Beatrice will add $1 to the pot. Were you going to do some squirt gun races? We decided that the squirt gun races are uninspired. The human psyche is what really interests me. Claire Johnson comes running up to you, looking flushed and happy with the day's events. Hey Danielle, this is some party. Claire, you came after the mess of Fresh Week. I thought you wanted nothing to do with us. I started to kind of regret that, actually. You guys always seem to be having such a good time. Trevor, you should tell me my fortune. We wouldn't want to subject Claire to that kind of danger. Trevor puts his top hat down low over his eyes and mumbles a few times before speaking. Danielle tries to hide it, but she's secretly and desperately in love with... No, Don't you dare, Marshall. Watermelon shots. I saw you sneaking an extra one last Wednesday. Don't deny it. I'll admit no such thing. You all laughed as Dr. Petrov adds more money to the growing pot. At this rate, you'll more than meet your goal by the time the party is over. Hey Danielle, just in time for the big show. You glance up to find Riley waving from across the street. You head over as he strips down and prepares to mount the steps to the dunk tank. Why am I not surprised to find you volunteered for the wettest, slipperiest booth? Gotta play to my strengths, Lambda. You start to roll your eyes, but a voice from the front of the booth calls out before you can say anything. Hang on, I see 2 seats up there. We want a Lambda to aim for too. Yeah, Danielle, they need something shiny to look at. Fine, but I get the feeling all you really want to see is me in my underwear. Turn your back to the crowd and begin playfully stripping down to your bra and panties. Swing your hips from side to side as you remove each piece of fabric. Remember, your dad is there. Just thought I'd ruin that. And everyone always accuses me of putting on a show. I can't help it if the charity demands my sacrifice. Anything to help Greek row. Am I right? Riley shakes his head, but you can tell he's secretly thrilled by how you're willing to strip down for the crowd. No one can accuse you of not taking one for the team. The two of you settle into your seats as the top of the dunk tank, your legs dangling over the cold water below. This is gonna be good, I never miss. Do your worst, I know you won't aim for me, not when Danielle looks so good soaking wet. Riley, you traitor. Don't blame me, you're the one with the killer body and the nips that react to the slightest chill. Your cheeks flame as the crowd doubles their cheers to see you plunge into the water. A gorgeous woman smiles up at you mischievously. Okay, that settles it. Hand me the baseball, too. As Riley flashes you his trademark smug smile, you realize the competitive spirit is just as strong between you as ever. And it's becoming easier and easier to win. I'll distract them by showing some skin, beg for mercy, goad them into hitting Riley instead. Come on, don't you want to wipe that smirk off Coin's face? Now that you mention it, I am owed some payback after last year's beer pong tournament. Honestly, I thought you asked for a re-rack, Inez. You both shout as baseballs suddenly start flying. Holding on tight to your seat, the two of them slam into the targets. Bullseye, baby! Glance over just in time to see Riley's eyes widen in shock before he plummets into the water, with you only a few seconds behind. You both come up spluttering up out of the water at the same time, your hands intertwine. Sparkling drops of water cascade down his chest, leaving no part of him untouched. You did that on purpose, Danielle. Of course I did. You always look hot when you're been bested by me. Riley helps you out of the dunk tank, shivering as he drapes the last dry towel over your shoulders and begins rubbing his hands up and down your arms to warm you. Does this mean you've accepted always being second place? No matter what games we play, you always seem to end up on the bottom. He chuckles obligingly, pulling his clothes on, but then he jerks his head towards a group of football players. I might be a good sport about losing, but Sigma Zetas are still sore about the giant bucket of lube. He follows gaze with a front frown. The rest of Greek row seems to be coming around your side, but the frat containing many members of the football team are still sulking. So they can throw a good party. Big deal. They're gonna veto us for sure. As your gaze moves back towards Riley, it catches on an enormous obstacle course that Wyatt and Dahlia spent all week designing together. Actually, maybe what they need isn't a chance at forgiveness, but revenge. The best way to keep this party going is to spice it up, and all the frats on deck obstacle course is just what way to do it. You can practically see the wheels turning inside Riley's head as he considers your idea, and how well it might work to fix everything. Riley breaks out into a grin and lights up the whole street. You're right, Daniel. If there's one frat that's just as competitive as we are, it's Sigma Zeta. Then let's go do what we do best. Play. You saunter up to the football players who watch you approach warily. Oh, if you're about to invite us to the catwalk, it's a hard pass. Do you know how long it takes us to get that much lube out of your hair? Not long, it's called a hot shower. You're careful not to look at Riley for fear you'll start laughing and ruin your whole scheme. No lube this time, we promise. But we are extending an invitation to run the obstacle course. You mean a competition between our frats? Actually, we want to do it between all the frats. That's what today's about, remember? Greek unity. We're listening. The rules are simple. Each frat will select 2 competitors to run the course. Every time we pass a checkpoint, money will be added to the pot. Well, that sounds kind of fun, actually. It would be nice to show you what Sigma's made of. And the best part will be all of us working towards a common goal. With everyone participating, it'll just be like good old times again, with cheerful rivalries and fun for everyone. As long as you promise there's no trap this time. Riley slings his arm around the football players and winks at him. Come on, you gotta admit you wish you thought of lube, Bucket. I mean, it was pretty genius. You signal to Dally and Wyatt, who run off to gather as many of the frat sorority teams as they can. Within 5 minutes, almost the entire party is gathered around the obstacle course, ready to watch the big event. I'm staying a spectator for this one. The obstacle course looks gnarly. You're lost, dude. I, on the other hand, am up for some good old-fashioned competition. What do you say, baby bird? Should we crash this frat party? Wouldn't be the first time. As everyone pairs off and takes their spots at the starting line, you hand out lengths of rope. Okay, guys, you must remain tied to your partner at all times, and you're immediately disqualified. So, tie those knots tight, and hold on to your partner as hard as you can. As he speaks, Riley tosses the rope like a lasso, catching you neatly around the waist with a tug. He pulls you towards him. You're awfully handy with that rope. Do you make it a habit to tie up your partners? Only when they're as hot as you. A thrill that has nothing to do with the race moves through you as he tightens the knot and binds you to him. Even though there's enough room to move, you can feel his every muscle straining and pushing against you. You squeeze his hand as you line up next to the rest of the competitors. Trevor jumps onto a nearby platform and cups his hands around his mouth. It's go time! You and Riley dash towards the first obstacle, a ball pit filled to the brim with ice. Oof. But that doesn't stop a few of the teams from plunging right in. Cold, 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 cold! Whoever came up with this is just plain cruel. Riley, we should go as fast as humanly possible. We can't let our muscles lock up or we'll struggle through the rest of the course. That's my Danielle strategic to her very core. Riley wraps his arms around your shoulders to keep you as warm as you both take off running. Oh my god, this is so much worse than I expected. Don't worry, Danielle, I promise to warm you up when it's all over. Everyone makes it out of the ice pit at the same time. You know, I'm really surprised the Russian didn't just dive in and go, "Whoa, this is refreshingly warm." They do that shit for fun. I'm just giving you no. Your wet clothes cling to your skin, and so do Riley's. You take a moment to appreciate the view as you pass the first checkpoint. That's $5, 10, 20. Keep 'em coming, guys. Stop staring and get moving, Danielle. I'll carry you if I have to. You reach the bouncy house, which is lined with bystanders holding up pool noodles and getting ready to slow your progress. Don't worry, guys, we won't hit you much. Several teams have already ducked into the bouncy house, and only to get immediately pushed back out by the hordes of pool noodles. We're gonna have to come up with a plan if we want to pull ahead. Well, evil plotting is your expertise, Danielle. I'm just the muscle. In that case, Grab a noodle and start heading back. I need my strong knight to protect me. Attack. You don't have to ask me twice. Riley scoops up one of the poo noodles and helps you into the bouncing house. As you're attacked on all sides, Riley starts swinging. Nobody hurts my Danielle and gets away with it. Ah! No one said you could do that! All's fair in love and obstacle coursing. Riley is still laughing as you both jump down from the bouncy house. By now, you've managed to secure a safe lead. If you want to pause to catch your breath, I can give you some of mine. He presses his mouth against yours in a quick, exhilarating kiss. The rope seems to tighten around your waist as his tongue slips into your mouth. Just as the Sigma team whizzes by. See you later, suckers. You smooch, you lose. And Riley pull apart with a gasp. Damn it, Danielle, you're distracting when you're being all sexy and competitive. We need to make it through the cornstarch quicksand as fast as possible. And you want to do this? Riley narrows his eyes and scans the goopy mass. The Sigmas are already struggling to make it through, their feet sticking to the thick goop. Hold on tight, Danielle, I've got an idea. You squeal as he scoops you in his arms, quickly lifting you easily. He steps into the quicksand and starts running, but is quickly slowed down by the cornstarch mixture. Question, where are we tied that we can just freely be lifted? The stuff is like wet concrete. The trick to quicksand is to keep one foot in the air, focus on the way my ass feels in your hand. No, that'll fail us. I read it in a book once. As long as you don't plant both feet at the same time, you should be alright. Also, if you don't struggle too much, you have to go slow. Riley immediately lifts one of his feet. Long, careful strides, he plunges forward, always balanced on one leg. Damn, this might actually work. You never fail to surprise me, Daniel. Is there anything you don't know? If I ever find out, you'll be the first to know. He makes it through the cornstarch quicksand without dropping you once. As he slides you to the ground, you can't help but wave at the struggling Sigmas you've left behind. One more to go, you two. You'd better get going. Oh, we will. We're coming for you on the next one. You can hear the rest of the teams blazing past checkpoint after checkpoint. At this rate, I think we're about to set a donation record. Finally approach the final obstacle, a slime-covered balance beam. Oh. Great. This can't be too hard, can it? It's slime. You and Riley step onto the balance beam, only to immediately lose your footing and topple to the ground again. Oh wow, this one's gonna be tricky. I don't think I can carry you and keep my balance. I know, and there's no way we'll both make it without pulling each other down. Out of the corner of your eye, you see the Sigma team ducking their heads together for a quick conference, looking smug. We need to use our bodies to wipe off the slime, sit and scoot our way toward across. Follow my lead. I think I know how we can do this. You shuffle behind Riley, pushing him to the beam. As you settle behind him, you slide your legs open and wrap your arms around his chest. Careful now, Lambda, or I might throw the race on purpose just to keep your legs spread against me. It's okay. I promise to straddle you for as long as you want once we're done. Deal. The two of you inch forward, your bodies rocking and thrusting as one. The position, all but second nature. Is it weird that I'm totally turned on right now? You and Riley make it across the beam with seconds to spare. You jump down as the Sigmas cross this finish line 2 steps behind you. And we have our winners. With over $500 on this course alone. Riley scoops you in his arms again. It's time to plant a kiss on your lips as you wait for the rest of the teams to finish. I'd tie myself to you anytime, Danielle. And I'd fall into a vat of slime with you just as often. You glance over to find the Sigmas congratulating their team on a job well done. You head that way to shake their hands. No hard feelings, I hope. This all goes to a good cause, right? The Sigma president eyes your outstretched hand and then bypasses it to slap a hearty slime-covered hand on your back. It was a hell of a fight, Delta Tau Chi. I can't wait until next time. Payback is going to be a serious beach. As the block party comes to a close later that night, everyone is exhausted but triumphant. You gather around Wyatt as he tallies up your earnings. And that's $9,623. You guys raised almost $10,000. You're just giving it to us? For the good of Greek life? We trust you know how best to spend this. Repairs, improvements, community outreach. This money belongs to all of Greek Rome. If it were up to me, I'd invest it for the future. Just think, if we put it into an account with a high return, next year's frats will have something to fall back on. But you won't even be here next year. You won't get to enjoy the money. It doesn't matter. Starting Delta Tau Chi is enough reward for me. It's true. This is just the start of what Delta Tau Chi is gonna accomplish. So, does this mean you guys are willing to come to housing office tomorrow morning? In order to get our housing bid ratified, we have to have full support of the entire Greek community. You know, you can count on me. I'm in. Same. I can hardly believe you're the same frat from before. It's because you never gave us a chance. Everyone turns towards the last holdout from Sigma Zeta. After the way you dominated that obstacle course, it'd be a tragedy to lose Delta Tau Chi. Cheers break out as everyone rushes off to celebrate your big win. Riley pulls you into his arms and swings you around in a circle. It was one hell of a party, Danielle. You did it. Riley, I couldn't have done it without you. I don't deserve all the credit for this. It's as much your win as mine. As he sets you back on your feet, you raise your lips to his. You can hear the catcalls in the distance, but you don't care. Riley groans and tightens his hold on you. Success looks good on you, Danielle, and it tastes even better. Before the two of you can really start to celebrate, the rest of the group calls you over to where they're beginning to clean up. Get your asses over here, you two. I'm not carrying these garbage bags by myself. Yeah, last one to tear down the carnival booth is a loser! Is that a challenge I hear? It's on now. The next morning, you, Dahlia, Wyatt, and Riley wake up early to present your signed paperwork to Mr. Townsend at the housing office. The first thing I'm doing once we're officially have an Alva house back is starting to designing new Delta Tau Chi swag. And I'm going to soundproof the basement. I want to put study corrals down there for anyone who needs them. I don't know, you guys. Maybe we shouldn't start celebrating just yet. None of the other frat presidents are here yet. You peer down the hall, but there's no sign of anyone coming. After all the promises from yesterday, the silence feels ominous. I'm sure they'll all be here any second, Danielle. They probably stopped for coffee on the way. Before you can respond, the door to the housing office swings open and Mr. Townsend steps in. I'm afraid I have some bad news, Delta Tau Chi. As of 9 o'clock this morning, you don't have the signatures you need to ratify your housing bid. I have no choice but to deny your application. What? Seriously. What? Here, whatever. Without further ado, I mean, literally the housing office... Wait a second. Didn't it just open? Weren't you just about to give him the paperwork? What? Oh, Jesus. Oh, the writing just keeps getting worse, I swear to God. Yeah, no, people aren't writing this anymore at this point. It's a program. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy, to like, share, and subscribe. Also, head to the pinned comment. Also, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Aside from that, I'm just gonna say, wow. First and foremost, I've seen a couple of comments lately. Not in regards to this stuff, but in regards to how many keys I have, which LOL. Do people not realize, like, seriously, hold on. Okay, I just want to show you this. Do people not realize that with VIP you get unlimited keys, right? So, I don't think people understand that. Like, I'm paying a monthly fee so I can make sure to cover all this stuff. Because everyone's like, oh my god, you have so many keys. Like, you have unlimited keys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It literally one of the perks of paying for VIP. But as a person who just reads new chapters that come out every week, or may I say specifically every Wednesday and Friday, there isn't enough to challenge the old 3 key that everyone has. For like 5 years, maybe 6, I didn't have VIP. No one had really VIP. And like everyone did keys every single time. And I had to buy keys, as you saw there. I had to literally and figuratively buy keys. Like when they released the whole high school story and I got it out in one day. Yeah, I had to buy keys. I don't know why people are surprised by this. Then everyone goes, "You have so many diamonds." Yes, I've been playing this app for 7 bloody years. And again, I've been buying VIP. Every single day that I log in, I gain useless diamonds. Keyword useless. Because I will never, even if I stop using VIP right now, and they released every single chapter, every single book, the normal way, right? I would still have a ton of diamonds in a year or 5 years because, like, literally and figuratively, I don't play all this stuff and just it's excessive at this point. And there's a reason why a lot of people have quit playing choices, let alone not doing VIP, because it's not worth it. I don't think people realize that. It's really not worth it. The only reason that I cover VIP and pay for it is literally and figuratively for the people who don't want to, and they're like, okay, well, you know what? I'll turn to good old trusty Locum who's been doing this stuff for 7 years, and I'll just watch his video and see what the chapter's about. And then people go, okay, it was interesting. I'll play it myself, or I'll wait for it to wide release, or I'll get VIP myself and play it like he's doing. And most people are going to choose opt-in for the first 2 things, and they're not going to opt in for VIP. Literally and figuratively, don't ask me, ask the community. Ask every single person that plays this stuff. Okay? Like, again, I do VIP for you guys. So the comments lately are just, you're silly. I don't think you guys realize, like, I don't know if you guys are new to the app or whatnot, so hopefully this speech, this spiel at the end of this video is teaching you guys that, hey, I'm doing this for you, and I've been doing this for so long it ain't funny. So hopefully you understand. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.